to keep an eye on
Yeah.
the meeting room, on the waiting room. Is that okay?
Yeah. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining this session. My name is Christiana Daini, and I have with me here Hanime from University of Surrey. Thank you so much for joining the University and Pathway Fair. So please try to mute yourself upon entry, and just to ensure that there is no disturbance from anywhere. And please feel free to drop your questions in the chat box while she continues with her presentation. After the presentation, we'll have a Q&A session where you'll be able to ask as many questions as you want to. And if you want to probably speak, you want us to hear your voice, please raise your hand and I will ask you to unmute yourself after the presentation. Thank you all for joining once again, and I'll ask Anime to continue with our presentation now. Thank you.
Thank you for that really warm introduction, Christiana. It's lovely to be here, and thank you to everyone who's joining, giving up your time on this Thursday afternoon. Hopefully this will be a really informative session about what we might be able to offer you here at the University of Surrey. So we are a UK-based university. My name is Annie, and I am actually a graduate of the University of Surrey. So I love the institution so much that I've decided to stay on and still work here for the international team after graduating several years ago. So today I'm going to talk you through a few different aspects about what the University of Surrey can offer, starting off with our campus, and then we're going to go in and clarify the degrees, the career opportunities that our degrees might enable you to go on to, and then what our student life is really like here. And of course, I'll look forward to taking any questions that you've got at the end of today's session. So please don't hesitate to pop those in the chat box as we go. So in terms of the university, we are located in the south of England on the blue dot that's just appeared on your screen now, and that's the town of Guildford. So we are outside of London. We're about 35 minutes from central London by train, and we're conveniently located between both Heathrow and Gatwick Airport. We've got direct transport links to both of those airports, and it makes it really easy to travel to other places within the UK as well, because it's nice and easy to access all of the brilliant public transport links that come out of the hub of Guildford. And through being a campus-based university, it means that all our facilities are here in the same sort of student village. So you'd be living, studying, socialising, all in this safe, diverse and really welcoming community. So we have 24-hour security here on the campus, as well as our 24-hour library. But there's lots of places for you to be able to enjoy time out from your studies too, whether that's by the beautiful lake on the screen here, and that definitely has to be one of my favourite places here on the campus, or whether it's at our My Surrey Hive, which is a place you can go to for student support, and I'll come on to that very shortly. And then the cathedral, just faintly in the back of the image at the moment, is where you would have your graduation ceremony. So after all of that hard work, when you're celebrating with friends and families, that is where your ceremony would be. And you'll see that we have a bus route going around the campus, and this goes both from the Stag Hill campus, where we are currently, to our Manor Park campus. Now, a bus between these is just a few minutes, or to walk would be about 15 minutes. So they are very close by, and it's a very safe walkway between the two campuses. Of course, you can see we've got lots more accommodation here on the Manor Park campus, as well as our sports park too. So for any of you who are keen to get involved with any of our sports activities, this is the place for you. And again, there's more catering and social outlets here on the Manor Park. And when it comes to teaching, this is home to our vet school as well. All other teaching would be on the Stag Hill campus. And the Stag Hill campus, the one that I showed at the start of the presentation, is the one that's just by our town centre. So it's only a 10-minute walk from our town centre, where we have the train station, as well as all of the wide variety of shops, restaurants, bars, and lots of different cultural and entertainment venues as well. And whilst Guildford is outside of London, and it's certainly quieter than central London, there's still lots going on, and I think you would really struggle to become bored in Guildford. There's so many different things that you can get involved with, and it's a really diverse, welcoming community. In terms of our student body, 1 in 3 students are from outside the UK. And we have lots of fresh food markets, as well as the opportunity to source African groceries on campus. We have, links with businesses nearby who would deliver, jollof packages for, or any other groceries that you might need, whether you want to buy yams fresh from the market, or whether you want to have meals delivered to your halls of residence. So we've got lots of options for you. And this also provides lots of great opportunities for part-time work as well. So that's the campus. That's where you'd be studying, living here, particularly for your first year, depending on the program that you're looking at. And in terms of the academic side of things, we have 3 faculties here. So these are 3 really large schools, and then that's broken up between different departments and of course different courses within that. So there's arts and social sciences, health and medical sciences, and engineering and physical sciences. And then within that, there are all of these degrees that we offer. So as you can see, a really wide range. And in terms of subjects where Surrey is very highly ranked, and that would be particularly for the hospitality, events and tourism management. So we are first in the UK for hospitality management and 3rd in the world. We're also really highly ranked for subjects such as engineering and nutrition and food science as well. But as you can see, there's lots of options and lots of specialties too. So, particularly when it comes to things such as engineering, for chemical engineering, our facilities are world leading, and we have our very own pilot plant here at the university. So you would have the opportunity to experience what being on a refinery would be like, and of course to use that within your practical learning on a day-to-day basis. When it comes to entry requirements, I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have on that. But just to flag nice and early on that we will accept the WIEC in place of IELTS. So if you have WIEC C6 and you've never taken the IELTS, then we're happy to accept that as evidence of meeting our English language requirements, whether you're applying to an undergraduate or a postgraduate programme. And in terms of when our subjects begin, well, undergraduate courses, it's every September. For postgraduate courses, we have 2 intakes available. So every course has a September intake, and quite a few offer a February intake as well. So the next intake, for which we're currently open for applications, is February 2022. And if you are currently living in Nigeria, applying for one of our full-time master's course in February, the good news is that you would automatically be eligible for a £2,500 scholarship. So a really great scholarship opportunity for you there if you are thinking of starting your studies with us this coming February. And maybe you're thinking of starting your studies a little bit later on, and you're actually interested in completing a 2-year master's. Well, as you'll probably know, masters are a standard 12 months here in the UK. But for next year, for September 2022, we are offering, these courses that are on your screen at the moment, these would actually be 2-year masters. Now, that wouldn't be 2 years of study. Instead, you'd receive a visa for 2 years, and then of course you'd be eligible for the graduate immigration route after the course as well. But the first year would be full-time study, and the second year would be a full-time internship that we would support you in being able to source. So for example, if you are working, if you're studying on our human resource management MSc program for those first 12 months, you would then be able to go and work in a human resources department, applying the knowledge that you've just learned for that past year. And that would also still be an assessed integral part of the course. And there's a lot of employability support available for you with that. And of course, it just really, really helps to boost your graduate prospects and have that fantastic experience on your CV. And when it comes to the placement, you may wish to do it in Guildford. We have some great companies with whom we partner here in Guildford. You might want to go up to London or anywhere else in the UK and even the world. So, if you were wanting to do your placement overseas, that's something that we can look at supporting you with. And then for all students, we have additional opportunities for you alongside your main degree programme, and it's called our Global Graduate Award. So you could do this in languages, in employability, and sustainability, and there's no additional cost for any of these programmes. You can get involved with as little or as many as you would like. The languages programme, for example, would be a great thing to add to your CV, and is also recognised on your transcript when you graduate too. So that's another really good option for you to consider, as well as building out anything else that you might be passionate about. Of course, if you're applying to one of our degrees in the Centre for Environment and Sustainability, doing the Sustainability Global Graduate Award would really support your degree programme. And now coming on to careers and employability, which for us at Surrey is something we take really seriously and something we're, very, very proud to support our students with. So I've mentioned that some of our master's programs offer that placement year or that professional training placement. There are so many different names for it. And we work with a huge number of companies to be able to offer those placements. So unfortunately, we could never guarantee a student a placement, but what we can do is offer you a huge range of support. And also to say that a lot of the placement year agreements we have in place are exclusively for Surrey students. So rather than competing with all UK universities, often it's just a case of which particular student or students from your cohort will be successful in undertaking their placement with one of our providers. And if you were doing an undergraduate degree, the professional training would happen in your third year. So you'd study for 2 years, have a placement year, and come back for your final year. Or if you're looking at one of those master's courses with the placement, then that would be the full-time option in your second year of the course. Now, of course, not all of you may be interested in doing a professional training year placement, or depending on the master's degree that you're looking at, whether you're starting in February or you're looking at another different program, it might not be possible to do a placement year. But please do not worry, because you would still have a great opportunity to undertake some shorter internships, maybe over the Easter vacation or the summer vacation, for example, and you'll still have access to our wonderful careers team. So if you were doing a placement year, it would typically be 12 months in duration, and you would have one-to-one support, both from an academic within your department who would help you to prepare the full year before you were actually going out on your placement. And as I mentioned earlier, these really are worldwide global opportunities. In fact, within our some of our postgraduate courses and the vast majority of our undergraduate courses, you can even look to do a study abroad exchange. And we work with 80 partner universities worldwide, from Canada and the US to Australia and Hong Kong, to be able to offer those exchange programs. And sometimes that's for a semester, sometimes it's for a full academic year. Again, it just depends on the exact course and your particular plans and interests. We always like to work with you on a very individual basis to make sure that you'll get the most out of your degree with us. And when it comes to that placement year, the work placement, we have over 2,300 partners, and it's a significantly reduced fee for that professional training year as well. You don't pay the standard tuition fee. Okay, so some other good news for you is that we are University of the Year for graduate employment. So we're really proud to have received this reward, and it very much is testament to how hard our careers and employability team work. They've been voted best placement provider for the past 3 years in a row. And they offer one-to-one support throughout your degree, specific to your program as well. So if you're, studying data science with us, then you would have a careers advisor who specializes in computer science degree opportunities. And you can also use them for, any part-time jobs that you might be looking at during your studies, as well as those internships, those placements, and of course, those graduate jobs as well. And 96% of students at Surrey go on to further study or employment within 6 months of graduating. And actually 40% of students who go on that placement year come back with a job offer for after they've graduated, which is a really impressive statistic and shows just what a great impression Surrey students make when they go on their placement year. And we believe it's because whatever you've learned in your degree prior to going on placement has been, designed and orientated in such a way that it prepares you as well as it possibly can, to meet our requirements, and to ensure that you have that practical knowledge to be able to go on and succeed in not just your chosen career, but in any professional placements you have in the meantime. Okay, so some of our graduate destinations, well, here, you'll recognize some really big name companies, but we also work with a lot of startup organizations here in Guildford. So just next to our Manor Park campus, we have our very own Surrey Research Park that's home to well over 100 employers. And many of those are actively looking for Surrey, postgraduate and particularly PhD students to help them with their own research and their own, really innovative business solutions that they're offering. And when it comes to the employability support, for the first 3 years after you graduate, you can have one-to-one support from our careers team. So whether that's, wanting to have a virtual appointment with them, whether you want them to look over your CV and give you some feedback, that's available for no extra cost for the first 3 years after you graduate. Okay, so that's given you a little taster as to the careers and employability support. But what is it like on a day-to-day basis here at Surrey? What is life like as a student? Well, the other bit of good news is that we guarantee accommodation for all new students in their first year. So regardless of the level of study that you're looking to complete with us, you would be guaranteed accommodation for the first full academic year of your course. So as a postgraduate student, that would be for the first 12 months. As an undergraduate student, it's typically for around 38 weeks. So from September to June, which is our standard academic year here at Surrey. And we have different rooms on offer depending on your budget, depending on the facilities that you're looking for. It's all self-catered, so you're able, to be able to make friends when you're all cooking your meals together, or, if you would like to even have your own studio flat with your own kitchen facilities, then again, that's something that we do have on offer. We also have a limited amount of family accommodation available on the campus. And if you are looking to bring dependents with you, then I'm more than happy to have a separate conversation about the extra support available, because we do have things such as a nursery on the campus as well. And this just gives you an idea of the range of price. As you'll see, there's a significant difference between the price options here. So band A would be your sort of budget room, slightly smaller facilities, potentially shared with another student, up to band C and band D, which are generally the most popular options. And then lastly, band F, which is your very own studio flat. And that is suitable for couples as well. So if you are bringing a spouse with you, then that would actually be, the cost for 2 people. So if you do split it between 2, it actually works out to be very affordable, very competitive price wise. And this is the kind of standard band D room here that we have on the Manor Park campus. You'll see, a sort of standard student room, but you really can make it yours, make it feel like home for that next year. And it's very likely that you'll be living with a few other international students too, just because of how diverse a student community we have here at Surrey. So our My Surrey Hive is somewhere that I really recommend spending a lot of time whilst you're here on campus. It's sort of our one-stop shop for student support, and it's somewhere that you could go every day with any questions that you might have, to either speak to a member of staff or speak to one of our Hive mentors who's a current final year student who've undergone training to support you as best they possibly can. And to really be able to make sure that you're getting the most out of your experience, rather than being unsure about anything or having any doubts, you can go ask your queries and have anything that you need to clarified. And we have a huge range of support teams here at Surrey, from our chaplaincy to our international support team to accommodation and money support teams as well. And very often they will just run drop-in sessions in the Hive. So, they'll just have a little table that you can go up to with any queries that you might have on a particular afternoon each week. And then opposite the My Surrey Hive is our My Surrey Nest. Again, one of my favourite places on campus. It's a work-free zone. Somewhere you can go and just chill out. There are places called nap pods. If who are having a particularly long and stressful day and just need, half an hour to yourself, a little bit of peace and quiet, this is a lovely place to come and really just be able to put your well-being first for once. And then we have a huge range of events on campus as well. You'll see there's a huge selection in front of you. I would say that one of my favourite events is the One World Showcase. So this is where all of our cultural societies come together once a year to showcase their heritage. They put on, lots of food and dance opportunities, and it's just such a celebration and a really, really great thing to be able to get involved with. And the Freshers' Fair would happen right at the start of your student experience with us here at Surrey. It's a place you can go to find out about all of the sports clubs and societies that you might want to join. And of course, they'll put on numerous events throughout the year. And then similarly, there'll be things within your faculty, academic events that you might want to go to, whether that's external speakers coming in to give guest lectures some evenings, or, more on the careers and employability side. So we not only host careers fairs, but we'll have specific employers come in to do workshops with particular subjects that we offer here at Surrey. And part-time work, a really important aspect rather for many, many students. And, we strongly encourage and support you with finding part-time work here at Surrey. And there's a huge range of things that you may wish to pursue, many of which could actually be on campus and could be really flexible, fitting in around your studies. So the clubs and societies that we offer are very, very numerous. A really popular society is our Afro-Caribbean Society. Maybe you want to get involved in something a little bit more niche, like Harry Potter or baking. Maybe you're an amateur photographer, and again, you'd like to join the Photography Society and meet other like-minded people. Or maybe the sports is where your interests lie. And we have amazing facilities at the sports park on Manor Park. The swimming pool was used as the London 2012 training pool, but we've also got a climbing centre. We've got lots of outdoor pitches. So whether you're, someone who is a real expert in sport or someone who's a complete beginner and just wants to get a little bit more active, the facilities on offer would allow you to do so. So just lastly, to clarify our teaching style at the moment, we're currently delivering a hybrid learning model. So all students are joining us on campus, with the vast majority of teaching taking place face-to-face, but that is being supported by some additional online assessments and a few either live streamed, pre-recorded or alternative lectures as well. Of course, we're encouraging the wearing of masks and social distancing wherever possible to make sure that you feel as safe as possible within our community, but it's just so lovely to see that buzz back on campus and to have everyone joining us here physically on the campus again. So that was a very quick whistle-stop tour. I appreciate I've just spoken at you for a long time and given lots of information. So I'm really looking forward to answering your questions. Of course, if you are watching this as a recording or you think of any questions at a later date, don't hesitate to either contact Christiana or myself directly. My email is annie.may@surrey.ac.uk, and I'll be really happy to hear from you. So in order to really get into the question and answer session now, I'm just going to stop sharing.
Yeah, thank you, Annie. So please drop your questions in the chat box, and if you want to speak, please just raise your hand and I will unmute you. Okay. Yeah, please just raise your hand and I will unmute you.
But yeah, thank you everyone for listening to that presentation. I hope that you have found it useful. And if you do have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to ask. I look forward to hearing from you.
Okay, I have a question here. It says that do you do airport pickup for students?
Yes, absolutely. Oh. That was just someone at the door. The joys of working from home. We do offer airport pickups, and we run a host of international orientation activities. So because we are so close to Heathrow and Gatwick airports, we're able to offer airport pickups on multiple days before the start of each semester. So just recently, obviously our students joined us in mid to late September, some in early October as well. And we had several days where we were at Heathrow or Gatwick, there to physically welcome students and arrange free transport to the campus to really, help them to settle in to our university environment and to make sure that they feel as safe and as welcome as possible. Then when it comes to the February intake, again, we will be offering airport pickups. The exact dates will be confirmed closer to the time, but usually, just before and during the welcome week as well, we would offer the opportunity for you to be able to benefit from the free airport pickup and then learn things such as how to set up a bank account in the UK, and also to get involved with lots of other activities that are taking place. We show you around the local area, we give you a tour of the campus and the chance to meet all of the other new international students too.
Okay, so we have Babatunde.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Babatunde. Lovely to hear from you.
Thank you. So I'm here from Ivory Coast.
Okay.
I saw this thing when it was on Instagram, so and I joined, and I want to know more about it.
Of course.
Okay, I assume you joined late. Is that it? Did you join late?
Yeah, I joined late. That's why.
Okay, this session has been recorded. I'll send the recorded version to you, so
Okay,
you can listen to that. But if you have any other clarification, please reach out to me. Our contact details is in the chat box. I believe you should see it. I'll post it again. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Okay, thank you very much.
No problem. Does anyone else have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions again.
Okay, so please keep dropping your questions in the chat box. I believe Anime's presentation was very interesting. So if you have any question, please let us know. Okay, I have one here that says that is there placement opportunity for engineering courses as well?
Yes, so particularly at an undergraduate level, we offer placement years for all of our undergraduate engineering courses. So from aerospace, automotive, biomedical, civil, computer, chemical engineering, electrical engineering, of course, as well. We would offer a full placement year on those undergraduate courses, whether you're doing the Bachelor's of Engineering or even looking at an integrated Master's Engineering option as well. And that would be an additional year of study at just a higher level to really make sure that when you graduate, you're as best prepared as possible for some fantastic engineering graduate opportunities. If you're looking at completing an engineering postgraduate degree with us, we wouldn't offer a formal placement as part of the degree, unfortunately, but we do have excellent links with industry, which means that during your vacation periods, if you would like to be able to experience a particular industrial placement, both through networking with your academics and with the employers who will regularly be hosting and attending events and workshops on the campus, you're often able to acquire that experience and gain an insight into the recruitment process for that particular company to really give you that head start when it comes to applying for the graduate job opportunity with that program. And we find that, particularly for engineering, if you're completing a postgraduate degree, often the graduate job that you would be able to go on to is at a really great and slightly higher level than what you might be doing on the placement. So that's the reason for not offering that particular placement opportunity. The exception of which is our electrical engineering program, and that is available with an integrated placement as part of the course, and the placement would give you the opportunity to complete that instead of some of the research assignments. So yeah, if you're looking at electrical engineering postgraduate, then there is the placement year opportunity. Otherwise, it would either be the short internships for other postgraduate courses or any engineering opportunities at undergraduate level too. And as I say, of course, you'll be making the most of all of our wonderful engineering labs and facilities, from things such as the pilot plant for chemical engineering to our Formula student lab if you're an automotive engineer who's a budding Formula One racing car designer.
Okay, another question says, do you accept tutor for your master's program?
Do we accept what? Sorry, Christiana.
Tutor.
Yes, yep. So the vast majority of courses would admit students on a 2-2 basis. Generally, provided your GPA is 2.4 or above and you have significant work experience, then you would be eligible to make an application. There are some courses where we would definitely need 2.8 GPA. And then a very select number of courses, predominantly within the chemical engineering master's suite, where we would need a GPA closer to 3.2. But as I say, that's just for a small number of programs. And certainly, whenever you have relevant professional work experience for multiple years, we're happy to accept that alongside your degree. So yeah, I would say about 90% of courses at Surrey ask for a 2-2, and then there's just a small number where it'd be closer to a 2-1. So that's slightly higher GPA, more like 3 or 3.2. And then just to remind everyone that when it comes to our English language requirements, we're happy to accept the YX certificate, provided it is still your most recent evidence of English language. Even if you took it back in 1999 to 2000, we're still happy to accept that, provided you've not taken the IELTS in the meantime.
Okay, please, I encourage everyone to drop their questions in the chat box for everybody to see. Another question says that what are the requirements to what are the documents to submit? So I believe, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
what are the documents to submit?
Yeah, and of course, Christiana, this is where obviously you are such a great help. Any applicants who have got, particular queries or anything they're uncertain about, please just reach out to Nubi and they can take you through this on a one-to-one basis and help to ensure that you've got as many documents as possible before you apply. Now, sometimes it is possible to make that application whilst you're still waiting for a few more documents. Perhaps you have your final degree certificate, but your transcript might not be ready for a few more weeks or even another month or so. You're still very welcome to make that application, and then we would look for you to provide that at a later stage. Of course, for the smoothest possible admissions process, to make sure it's as efficient and as quick a turnaround as possible, so you can ultimately get that offer that you're really looking for, that unconditional offer. And things that we would ask for a postgraduate program are your undergraduate documents. So that will be your final degree certificate and transcript in colour. And, if you have studied overseas and so it wasn't printed in English, then we would need any certified translation. Say you've done your undergraduate in China, for example, then we would need the English translation. But of course, if you're graduating from a Nigerian university, normally that would be absolutely fine. Then your WIAC, of course, your final WIAC certificate to show that you meet our English language requirements. We would then ask for contact details of referees. So we don't actually need the reference letters at this stage. Of course, it's great if you've got them to hand, but we don't need you to upload them. Instead, what would happen is if we need them as part of the application process, we would reach out to them, contact them directly. The other things that you then need to upload are your CV, and your passport, and a personal statement as well. So a personal statement should generally be about a page of A4, so a good few paragraphs in length, and it should detail your motivation for why you want to study the course and why you want to study it at Surrey. So, to really help you with this, I would always encourage you to go on the course page on our website, to look at the modules that we offer, to see the specifics of the programme, get a feel for the academics who would be teaching you and the facilities in which you would be being taught. This also then really helps when it comes to stages later on in the admissions process, such as, completing our CAS request form. And if you're ever called to a credibility visa interview, those sorts of questions about why Surrey, why this particular course, and being able to answer them in detail is exactly what they would be looking for. So they would be the documents that you would need, and Christiana's really helpfully put a quick summary of that in the chat as well. But yeah, the documents that are needed for undergraduate and postgraduate are actually very similar. Of course, the big difference is if you're an undergraduate student, we'd be looking for your high school results. If you're a postgraduate applicant, we'd be looking for your first degree results, your bachelor's degree certificate and transcript. And, newbie are fantastic. They'll go over the documents beforehand to make sure that, they'll meet our requirements, and you won't be delayed in the admissions process by asking for, a clearer scanned copy or anything like that. And just to say that, we are open for applications either for February or for September/October 2022. But for anyone wishing to join this February, we've got the £2,500 discount for you, which you'd automatically be eligible for. There's no separate application process, which is great news. And there's a huge range of programs that are taking place in February. And what I'll actually do is I'll just post a link to that in the chat now, so you can just check exactly which degree courses start in February. So you'll see there's a lot in our business school, in chemical engineering, civil engineering, electrical engineering, and then also our environment and sustainability, and of course, our first class hospitality and tourism school, first in the UK, third in the world. Fantastic.
Yeah, someone is asking if there's any other scholarship apart from the £2,500.
Yeah, great question. So for next September, we're still waiting to hear about the exact range of scholarships that will be on offer, and we're expecting some to be announced at some point in November. So it shouldn't be too much longer to wait. And certainly, if you are submitting an application for September at this stage, any scholarships that you're automatically eligible for or that become available on an application-based scheme, will be very, very sure to communicate with you about nice and clearly, so you can make sure you're maximizing your opportunities. Of course, we are a achieving partner as well for next September for anyone looking for that external scholarship, and we have been successful in being able to offer a great scholarship through the British Council. Now, this is a very competitive application-based scheme, so it's not automatic, unlike the £2,500 discount that we have for February, but this is for a £10,000 tuition fee discount for a successful applicant for next September. It doesn't matter on the particular course that you're applying for, but it is a very selective application process that you would do after receiving an offer from Surrey, and that will be open for applications until the end of May next year. So there'll be plenty of time to get your application for that sorted, and then the successful student will be notified about that in June. So yeah, that's a really significant discount of £10,000. There are also additional MBA scholarships, so anyone who might be looking to start the MBA next September, again, applications are open for that, and it's an interviewing course. That's the only interviewing course that we have here at Surrey on a postgraduate level. So the sooner you can submit your application for that, the better, to have your interview over the next few weeks and months. And if you're a really strong applicant who performs very well at interview, then you could be eligible for MBA scholarships, either relating to diversity or specifically to women in leadership as well. So yeah, I'll certainly keep Christiana updated, and likewise she will pass on lots of messages about more scholarships for next September. There's, as I say, Achieving, there's the Great Scholarship, and there's likely to be lots of others as well. But for now, that £2,500 automatic discount for February is available. So if you're considering starting, don't delay. Make sure that you make the most of that whilst it's still on offer. And just to add that, the accommodation guarantee applies for February as well. So if you are looking to start in February, you'd be guaranteed accommodation on campus for the whole 12 months. So from February 22 until the very end of January 2023 is when you'd complete your studies with us, and you'd be able to live on campus for the whole of that time.
Yeah, and just to confirm, the 10,000 British Council scholarship, can it be added to the 2,500 automatic scholarship?
So we're not yet sure whether the 2,500 would be offered next September as well. If it is, it might be possible to combine the two. We're just waiting to see on the terms and conditions. It's likely that, so particularly for anyone looking at an MBA scholarship, it would be the MBA or the 10,000 Great Scholarship. They wouldn't be available in conjunction with one another. But again, some of the MBA scholarships can be very generous, significant discount on the fees.
And the 2,500 scholarship is for undergrad and postgraduate students?
So for postgraduate students, because only postgraduate begins in February, we don't have any undergraduate intake in February, unfortunately. So yeah, and anyone who had previously studied at Surrey would also benefit from a 20% alumni discount. So we have a 20% discount on the fees if you previously studied at Surrey for any programs.
Okay.
Fantastic. Some really great questions there. Thank you for posing them, Christiana.
Yeah.
If there's anything else that comes in.
Please, if you have more questions, please keep them coming. And we will be happy to submit your application to University of Surrey. I'm sure Annie can't wait to see you. So please send our documents to info@nubieducation.com, and this will be processed for free. So please, the documents, like she said, I've posted them in the chat box. So please, if you have all the documents, you can always send them. If you don't have all, just send me the ones that you have, and we'll be able to submit the application. Thank you all. If you still have questions, please put them in the chat box.
Fantastic. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined. I hope that you found it useful, and I'll be happy to answer any follow-up queries that you might have, and I'll look forward to hearing from Christiana about how your applications are going very soon, I'm sure. And yeah, thanks so much to Rose and to Tyre and to the whole Newbie team for having me today. You've been brilliant, Christiana, wonderful co-host.
Thank you. Okay. This session has been recorded, so I'll still send this recorded session to everyone, so just in case you need more clarification. So thank you everyone for joining.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
How are you?
I'm really well, thank you.
How's everything? Okay.